you have a partner in your business, right?
Yep.
Having a partner can be very challenging because it's like a marriage, right? And I think the biggest mistake that a lot of people make when they get into any kind of business is they're like, I want a partner, but they find a partner that's just like them.
Yeah.
They don't find a partner that's like, that can complement their weaknesses, right? Chandler is basically like the CEO, the integrator in your business.
Exactly.
When you found him, did you know you're like, I got to go find somebody that complements my weaknesses? Or are you looking at it from a perspective of, I just want a partner, someone that believes in my vision and we share the same visions?
So good question. So it's actually a really good question because Chandler wasn't my partner at first. So I lived in this townhome. I still do. And Chandler lived in the bottom floor. And I knew Chandler from when we were 12. We played baseball together. And there was another kid we actually was on that same team when we were 12. His name's John Paul. He was actually living with me before Chandler moved in that townhome. And we were best friends since we were like 7 or 8. And so John Paul and me, he was actually filming a movie when I did my bandit sign and closed my first deal. When he came back, that was the guy I was referencing. I brought him in, and again, I brought him in, and I had the same conversation recently on my podcast. I brought him in just because it felt good. He was a friend. He did stuff with me. He was flipping the garage sale stuff. He was flipping, some of the, when we were younger at Ross and Mark, like we were doing that together. And so, it felt good just bringing him, hey, come on.
Yeah. And
the problem was, which we find out later, and so about the end of 2021, so the end of 2020, Chandler joined our forces with us in about August of 2020. Why? I was trying to tell Chandler all 2019 and even beginning of 2020, come on, work with us in real estate. He was focused on some other things. We were still in college. He was still in college. And so he was like, no. Finally, I get him. And then I realized, to answer your question, I finally found someone that like could complement me because Chandler's not sales oriented. He can do it, right? It's not saying he can't do it. He's not good at it, or he can be good at it, but that's not his best strong suit. I knew he's way better at, marketing and systems versus my partner, John Paul. At that time, he's still my partner. He did, like you were saying, he was pretty much doing the same stuff I was doing, or his best skills were my skills. But at the same time, that doesn't help the company because before Chandler came, that's leaving exposure to the systems, the processes, and all that. And again, that didn't help. It didn't complement me. And so at the end of 2020, we decided, and we had a conversation, and helped me that Chandler was there because he saw it too. There's a couple of reasons why. One being mostly that it was more like he was an employee to the business, not an actual owner, because like I said a little bit earlier, he was a movie actor. He was filming a Netflix movie actually when I discovered wholesaling, that when he was gone, and he's filming movies nonstop. And so he's like, he had ownership, but he wasn't acting like an owner, like an employee. And then two, it's also because he didn't compliment me. Now, even if he wasn't in the movie business, he wasn't complimenting me the same as he wasn't providing the value. Again, I think like you said, a lot of people, and I talked to a lot of guys, they said, I want a partner because they feel lonely when they start. Yeah. And that's where problems can start. And I tell some of our students that too. It's like, don't just get a partner to get a partner. Make sure they complement you. And so that's what Chandler, again, when he joined in 2020, that end of mid to the end of 2020, the business blew up. So in 2020, we did 750,000, I think, around there, 760. And in 2021, when Chandler's full-time with us, we did 1.8.
Wow.
Now, the market obviously helped, and even Chandler would say that, we got a wind of the market, a lot of things. But I would say a big reason that we're able, and I lived in Europe for 90 days. Chandler now recently, he was in South America for 3 months. And that wouldn't have been happening if I had the old partner, just because I would have been having to do a lot. But since we complement each other, Chandler takes on a lot of responsibilities. I take on some, but we're able to hold each other accountable. So that's the big thing. Like you mentioned, in those partnerships, you want someone that compliments you. You can hold accountable. You're not afraid to. Someone that's willing to work as hard as you, or else you're just giving away. Like at first, I look back and I was like, I just gave away, some money and time just because I felt comfortable. I felt lonely with someone, when reality is that's not going to help our business grow. Just by bringing on someone that, you want to be talking to every day, or that because you're lonely.
Yeah. Right? I think, like I said, so many people make that mistake. You described that so perfectly, dude. It's like when you're looking for somebody, make sure you find somebody that is going to complement your weaknesses, because if they have the same vision as you or the same strength as you, and you guys both have the same weaknesses, you're heading nowhere.
No, yeah.
I mean, you're just gonna
Nothing's
fall
gonna
flat on
happen,
your face over time. It's just a matter of time before you guys fail. So
Yeah.
that's awesome that you have him in your business and he's helped take you guys to the next level.
Sure.
Now, having a business partner, you guys ever clash or like you're like, hey,
For sure.
Yeah.
All the time. Well, first off, because we know each other since we're 12, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like you kind of mess around. Like we're friends too. We were friends before the business, right? So we mess around, we joke around, but also we don't always agree on everything, which I hope we don't always agree on everything, because
Right.
if we do, then something's wrong. You know, someone's giving up more than they should. You know, that someone needs to be able to defend themselves and say what they think. But you know, we never get in some, serious, like we're not fist fighting or anything. But
yeah,
you know, there's definitely some. I think we should do. We think we should do that, and if it's his department, I don't try to overstep it. You know, I say, hey, just do whatever then. Whatever you think. Just know you take accountability for it. Now, obviously, if I know it's something I've already dealt with and I've done and all that, I'll try to guide him as much as possible. But I'm not going to force him to, you know, do something he doesn't want to do or make a decision. Because, again, that's his. I got to respect his department. You know, if that's marketing, which is no longer his department, but he's in Dispo right now. Like, I'm not even involved in that. I'll let you do everything, right? So, of course, we clash, but nothing, you know, no intense.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it either because he's state champion wrestler. I don't want to take on Chandler. Man. He would take me down in 2 seconds. But yeah.
No, I mean, that's good that you guys have your way of like dealing with the clashes, because there's always going to be those moments where you might not see eye to eye.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys know how to, say, hey, you're accountable if this goes this way. So